Hello everyone, I'm MTGNerdGirl, and today I'm here to tell you guys about Premier Play and all the different ways that you can get involved in competitive Magic. With the addition of MTG Arena, competitive gameplay has never been more accessible. In fact, the path to becoming the next world champion can be done largely in your underwear. But before we can make you the next world champion, we're going to have to take a look at all the different avenues Premier Play has to offer to get you there. Let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at those events. All right, you guys are taking a look at the Premier Play Pyramid. This pyramid goes over most, not all, but most of the ways that you guys can get involved in competitive gameplay and unlock those highest tiers of competitive Magic. But before we start to climb up every single tier of this pyramid, let's take just a minute to talk about both the World Championship and the Arena Championship and discuss how these are the peak levels of competitive gameplay. Starting us off, the Arena Championship is a small event with 32 players that happens 3 times a year. There is a huge $200,000 prize pool, and if you make it into the finals, you'll get to move on to the World Championship. This is the highest level of competitive Magic in both digital and tabletop. In 2023, the player count will increase from 32 to approximately 128. And these players will be competing in one of the most prestigious events Magic has ever held for a prize pool of $1 million. Now that we know a little bit more about the 2 different championships, let's go ahead and take a look at the different paths to get you there. We're going to go ahead and start with the bottom tier of our Premier Play pyramid, and that's the Qualifier Play-In. Essentially, this event allows you to play into the next Qualifier Weekend. Previously, only the top 1,200 players on Arena were able to play in the Qualifier Weekend, but now the Play-In Qualifier we're able to purchase with Gold, Gems, Play-In points, or the top 1,200 ranking. And this gives everybody a chance, even if they don't have a ton of time, to be able to get onto this competitive track without needing to grind out those ranks each month. Now, I know most of you guys do know what the Gold, Gems, and the ranking system are to qualify for the Play-In, but many of you guys might not know what the Play-In points are. So real quick, let's go over those and talk about how you guys can get them just through your regular gameplay. All right, let's go ahead and click the Play button and head over to the events. This is where we're going to find those Play-In points. We're going to start with Limited. Now, in Limited, the only way you can get Play-In points is with Traditional Draft. This is a 3-match format, and if you manage to get all 3 wins, you'll be awarded 2 Play-In points. And as you'll see when we move on, the amount of Play-In points is heavily dependent on the amount of wins that the format asks you to get. All right, let's take a look at some of the constructed events. There are actually a lot more that offer Play-In points. You can do traditional or best of 1 to get these Play-In points. We're going to start with a regular best of 1. Let's just click standard. So this is a 7-win format. So you either need to go 7 wins or 3 losses, and that will end your event. If you can manage to get to 7 wins, you'll be awarded 1 Play-In point. Even though you have to get more wins, you are allowed a few losses along the way, and that is why there is less Play-In points on the line for a regular best of 1. But if you go ahead and take a look at the traditional Explorer events, you do have to go 5 matches, and you don't get Play-In points unless you go 5-0, which is quite difficult to do. And for that reason, you'll be awarded 4 Play-In points. And the really nice thing about these constructed events is that not only are they best of 1 or best of 3, you can also find them in just about any format on MTG Arena that you prefer to play. All right, now we've got our Play-In points, let's go ahead and keep moving up that pyramid. Now we know the way to enter into the Qualifier Play-In, Gold, Gems, 20 Play-In points, or top 1,200 in the rankings in any given season. But what is the Qualifier Play-In? This is actually the premier way for you guys to advance into that Qualifier Weekend. And thankfully, there are actually 2 different events for each Qualifier Weekend. You can enter a Play-In 1 week before the main Qualifier Weekend for a best of 1 tournament where you need to go 6 wins in order to advance. Or you can enter the day before the Qualifier Weekend for a best of 3 event where you need to go 4 wins before a single loss. Either of these options will get you qualified for the next tier in the pyramid. All right, before we move on, it's actually important to note that there are 2 other ways that you guys can advance past this first level of the pyramid and get into that Qualifier Weekend. You can end a season ranked in the top 250, or you guys can play in the Arena Opens. And if you qualify for day 2 and get 6 to 8 wins, you'll also be able to advance to a Qualifier Weekend. Now, this wasn't always the case. Thankfully, with the new system, we do have 3 different ways to advance into the Qualifier Weekend. So if you're unable to make it to the Qualifier Play-In or to grind out in the top 250 ranks, play in the Open, get 6 wins or higher in day 2, and boom, you're in the Qualifier Weekend. These arena opens always come with great monetary rewards, as well as some cool cosmetics with entry. And I think that's it. That's everything you need to know to advance to the qualifier weekend. Now that we've made it to that middle tier of our pyramid, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the event itself and what it qualifies you for. The qualifier weekend is a 2-day event with a rotating format. Day 1, you have to get 7 wins before 2 losses in order to advance to day 2. And in day 2, you also need to go 7 wins before 2 losses. And if you manage to pull it off, you'll qualify for not only the Arena Championship, but also the Pro Tour. These 2 qualifications are huge in the world of competitive Magic. Plus, you'll lock up some sweet rewards for the qualifier weekend itself. Now that we've made it past the qualifier weekend, we actually have 2 chances to make it into Worlds. Now, we did talk a little bit about the Arena Championship because this video is sort of geared towards the Premier Play side of things on Arena, but we didn't get a chance to talk about the Pro Tour. Because that weekend qualifier does qualify you for both and both lead to the World Championship, I think they're about the same tier as far as competitive level. But the Pro Tour is a tabletop tournament, which is something entirely different. If you guys haven't traveled for Magic before, it is a fantastic opportunity. These Pro Tours happen 3 times a year. They have a prize pool of $500,000 and a record of 12-4 or top 8 will advance to the World Championship. So even if you're an Arena Master, make sure you're ready to brush up on your tabletop gameplay. And that's it. We've done it. We've either made it past the Arena Championship or the Pro Tour and made it into the World Championships. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you probably didn't even have to put your pants on. With the new Premier Play system, the World Championship is going to be expanded to 128 players with $1 million prize pool. And it is a tabletop event where you're going to be playing face-to-face with the best 127 players in the world. Now I've gotten you as far as I can. The only thing that's left is for you to become the next world champion. Thank you guys so much for watching this informational video. I will be monitoring the comments very closely over the next few months, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below, and I will do my best to check them regularly and answer you as soon as I can. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.